Hello, happy Tuesday afternoon, everyone. It is the day after Labor Day, so welcome to episode 13 of Sports Talk from the Heart with Nicky Steez. It's a reminder to make sure to drop a like on both my channel and the Hardcore Sports Network. And I put the link to both channels in the description if you want to check it out. Now, first, I got the link to the Hardcore Sports Network. There it is right there. You can copy and paste it just to sub up their channel. And got the link to my channel as well. To give it about a few more seconds, let some more people come on in. And for episode 13, we're going to talk we're going to some football, baby. We're going to talk Eagles-Patriots preview. We're also going to do a little preview of week 1. I ran a poll both on Twitter and my channel asking you guys, what should I do for this episode? Should I do a little bit of mix of both or more Eagles-Patriots talk? So between YouTube and Twitter, but on Twitter, I was leaning 60-40 and more Eagles over week 1 as a whole. And YouTube, it was 50-50 between talking more about the Eagles and doing a little bit of week 1 preview and the Eagles Pats preview. So I'm going to primarily going to focus on the Eagles and Pats, but I'm also going to throw some week 1 preview in there. But yes, without any further ado, let's get into it. Yes, that's right. Week 1, Eagles versus Patriots. We got a 4:25 game at Gillette Stadium. It's going to be a big day for the Patriots. They're retiring number 12 before the game, having a big ceremony for retirement. So the Patriots are going to come in there motivated and ready to play. But I just realized something. This wouldn't be the first time we spoiled a legendary quarterback's retirement ceremony, because back when Dan Marino had his jersey retired, we played them on a Monday night game in Miami and defeated them, but that's another story. But hey, Pats are going to come to this game motivated, looking to put up a good performance right there. Their crowd's going to be riled up behind them. And hey, sometimes we can struggle on the road right there, and that can give the Patriots a home field advantage. However, you look at the teams on paper, we're clearly the better overall team. But don't be surprised, though, if the Patriots, even though, they looks like an easy win on paper, but I don't think it's as easy as a win as it looks. Because the Patriots, they're still a competitive team. Even though they missed the playoffs last year and they missed the playoffs 2 of the past 3 seasons, hey, they've managed to win at least 7 games, 3 straight seasons without Tom Brady. So they're no slouches either. And that's what we don't want. We don't want to get caught sleeping on the Patriots. Looking forward to the Vikings game week 2 on a shortened schedule and then have that come backfire against us. But going into this game, so far we're healthy, barring any freak injuries at practice throughout the rest of the week. And that's a good thing right there. Although we do have Landon Dickerson's questionable, but for the Quez Watkins is questionable. But it's still Tuesday, though. We're still not going to have the official injury report posted until game time Sunday. So that gives those guys plenty of time so we could still have them. But yes, sir. So the Eagles are 3.5-point favorites in this one right here. I mean, because, like I said, some people even see this game possibly being like 34-27 score. Some even think the Patriots could pull off an upset, which, it could happen. Really anything could happen in the NFL. Texans could upset the Ravens. Lions could upset Kansas City. We could get upset by the Patriots. So it could happen, but I don't think it's going to happen. I still think the Eagles are going to come through and get the W, but don't be surprised if it's a more competitive and nail-biting game than some expect, because I think this could be a nail-biting game. And one of the biggest things last year was we were middle of the pack against the run, and with the Patriots, they do have Rondé Moore, Stevenson, and Zeke, and that could help them out offensively. Mac Jones, he's that quarterback that I feel like if you can get some pressure on Mac Jones, he can falter, because when the pressure's on, Mac Jones has made some questionable decisions. You can tell in his play. So I just feel like he's an overall middle of the pack quarterback that collapses when the pressure's put on him. So I feel like if this Eagles, those guys right there on the defensive line, because you pretty much got the same guys last year minus Hargrave, but you also got Jalen Carter could be taking that spot, Jordan Davis as well, which Jalen Carter, I'll get more to him in a second. But hey, you got, it's going to be, they could be seeing it. Jalen Carter's probably going to be getting some playing time right there. You saw during preseason, he looked good right there. He showed some potential. So if he gets some playing time right there, he could have a nice debut right there. You also got those guys like Fletcher Cox in there as well, of course. Yeah, who am I missing? So, of course, you got her. Of course, you got Fletcher Cox in there as well. You got Josh Sweat and those guys. That's going to be a good. They can certainly make some noise right there. You could even get the linebackers. Hassan Reddick, we know he can be effective in the blitz as well, so he might get after Mac Jones a little bit. But hey, if you can get him there, you probably have a solid chance. But we still got to watch out for the run game right there. You got to watch out for Rondé Moore and Zeke right there. Maybe but you got to. That's going to be a tough matchup right there. We saw it last year, but hey, so I'm thinking possibly there's a good chance that the Patriots could make this competitive on the basis of that ground game right there. Their passing game, they're probably not going to be as effective, but I'm expecting more so the Patriots to be effective on the run game than in the passing game. As far as our offense goes, look, I have to give credit where credit's due. We are playing a tough. We are playing one of the better defense, because even though last year with New England, they did have a good defense, but offense, particularly quarterback, left a little something to be desired. There was a little controversy there between Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones. Now, Zappi, he's on the practice squad right now, so Mac Jones, he will officially be their starter, no questions asked. But that's the reason why I'm thinking, though, the run game is going to be their strong suit. And I feel like passing game, you can just get those guys like, of course, your Brandon Graham, of course. How did that slip my mind? In there, yeah, you got a chance right there. Now, Cox, he is questionable into this one, but again, it's only Tuesday, so I'm not going to worry about that one just yet. But hey, now switching gears back to the offensive side of the ball. Of course, offense. Jalen Hurts under center. He continues right where he left off last year. We can put up points against this Patriots team. Sure, they may have one of the better defenses going into the season, but hey, with Jalen Hurts as their quarterback, if we can score some points right there, as long as we got Goddard, Smith, A.J. Brown in there, maybe even Quez Watkins as well, hey, we could really do something. We can make some noise right there in the passing game. And plus, Jalen Hurts, we know, dual threat quarterback, makes some plays with his feet as well. There's definitely, I can definitely see this team moving the ball against the Patriots. Like I said, we are relatively healthy, so I don't see how we can't move the ball. And even though at the running game, we got DeAndre Swift, Rashad Penny, Kenneth Gainwell, we could use those guys right there in some capacity. This should still be a win. Even with this being a competitive game, this should still be a win. As long as the Eagles show up, as long as they're not wasting time playing Fortnite the night before, or out trying to live up life over there by Finn Foxborough, which I'm not really sure what there is to do in Foxborough, but I'm just illustrating a point saying that as long as they're not getting distracted worrying about bullshit, they should be out there. They should handle business in this game. But hey, some of the keys to victory right there. One of the main keys, like I said, obviously, got to get some pressure on Mac Jones, force him to make some bad decisions right there. That's one way you can minimize the effectiveness of the Patriots offense. You got to try to be able to minimize the ground game too with Stevenson and Zeke. I mean, knowing those guys, they'll probably get a few plays on us right there. You'll probably give up a few plays to them, give up some first downs, but hey, minimize their effectiveness. Don't make the tackle first chance you get. You have to get two guys to bring someone down, then do so. I mean, hey, if if one of the receivers catches something on you, or if Hunter Henry catches a pass on you for a first down, just make a stop immediately, minimize their effectiveness. I mean, they'll get some plays on us, but hey, as long as we can minimize that, should help out right there. But especially blitzing Mac Jones, that can force him to make some of those bad throws. So there's keys 1 and 2, blitz Mac Jones. And also, you minimize their effective plays because they're going to get some plays, minimize it. Another key to victory is we got to be able to pass the ball. Obviously, Hurts has got to be able to hit his targets right there. Got to get to AJ and Devontae. Got to get a few deep passes on them as well. And another key is we got to get going on the ground game a little bit, obviously. I mean, you can get going with Hurts. Obviously, you can get going with DeAndre Swift. You can get going with Rashad Penny. I mean, you got multiple people you can use in the run game right here to get going. But that's another key right there. We got to get going there in the run game as well. Especially, it would be great. What I think would really help is we got to get out there early. Try to get out downfield and score early. That would help out right there if we can do that. Try to take the first possession. Try to take the life out of the crowd because that crowd's going to be rowdy over there at Foxborough. They're going to be loud. They're going to be hyped. If you can take that crowd out of it early, that could help set the tone for the game. Help turn things around our advantage because that crowd's going to be New England's 12th man. If we can take them out of it early, that's going to be an advantage for us right there. So that's one thing we could do right there. Take that crowd out of it. So if we got to be able to do that. And as long as we play disciplined football, we don't take them for granted. This should work in our favor right there. I mean, I could see this being a competitive matchup, like I said, but hey, I still see the Eagles coming out here getting the W. We'll take care of business, go on to 1-0, get the W right here. And plus, with the way the rest of the NFC East is looking at, you got the Commanders playing the Cardinals. That should be a win for them, so they should be 1-0 after that. Then got the Cowboys and Giants. It'll likely be a win for the Cowboys. That would put 3 teams at 1-0 right there, as long as we take care of business. I mean, it is only week 1, but I'm just putting that out there. However, and I know even with the Patriots, though, defense, we can't take them for granted, though. This is going to be a tough defense, so there's a good possibility we might have to run the ball. But that's a good thing with Hurts, though, because I know with the Patriots defense, Hurts being a dual threat quarterback, he can make plays with his feet, move around that defense a little bit. There, he can use his athleticism and his speed. It's a good thing there. And I know even Mike Martz, he's thinking that the Patriots defense could make Jalen Hurts miserable on Sunday, which, that's his opinion. He can say whatever he wants to say. And yeah, to be fair, they do have some good players on that defense. But hey, like I said, we still have a good offensive line, and we have a healthy offensive line that can that can do its work. You still got Jason Kelsey's in there. If Landon Dickerson can go, he can go. And we got Cam Jurgens in there. I mean, yeah, we got some pieces right there. Lane Johnson, that's still a good offensive line right there that can contend with this Patriots defense right there. So I'm not really that worried about it. I mean, to me, it's a challenge. And it's if we can come in there, take care of business, beat that team right there. Hey, especially get going on the offensive side. That would be a good challenge right there to set the tone for the season going forward. So let's bring it on. Bring on that so-called good Patriots defense. We got the pieces there on the offensive line. We got the quarterback. We got the wide receivers. Got the tight end, Dallas Goedert. We got the running backs when needed. Let's do it. Let's go out there, play a game against the Patriots. Let's beat them on their home turf, spoil Tom Brady's retirement ceremony. Let's build some momentum for Minnesota. So I'm looking forward to it. If you're asking me final score prediction, I'm going to go with 28-20 Eagles. I still think this could be a competitive matchup, like I said, but I still think We're getting the W. Yes, sir. You guys, I definitely got the Eagles in this one. But yeah, let's definitely go out there. Let's get it done. So yeah, it's just a recap right here. Some of my main points for my keys to victory. Keys to victory are got to be able to. One thing I think you got to be able to be able to run the ball, move the ball effectively right there, especially against this team. Can use Jalen Hurts. Get our running backs in there, Swift, Penny, and Gainwell. Maybe Boston Scott comes in for a player or two. Also, got to be able to hit AJ and Devontae, get a few deep plays to those guys as well. That'll help out right there. Help us move the ball downfield. Possibly take the life out of that crowd right there. I feel like that's one of the other keys to victory too. I feel like if we can, like I said, get out there, have a big opening drive on offense, take the life out of that crowd, take that 12th man away from New England. That'll help us out. Another key is bring the blitz on that defensive line. Bring your guys there. Bring your Brandon Grahams, Fletcher Coxes, get Josh Sweat, Jalen Carter. Bring them. Bring them. Bring them after Mac Jones. Force them to make mistakes. There's another key right there to victory. Another key, as always, is play disciplined football. That's always going to be a key. Minimize stupid mistakes. It's just penalties and turnovers. That's always a key to victory right there. So those are my main keys to victory for the Eagles in this matchup against New England Patriots to get to 1-0, take care of business, and get ready to move on to the Minnesota Vikings. And now we're still on the subject of the rest of the league. Like I said at the beginning of this here, like I said, I was going to mainly talk about the Eagles and Patriots. That would be my main subject right here. And that is, but there is one more thing I want to point out though, too. One thing that does give us advantage in this case, actually, is having Matt Patricia. Having Matt Patricia, yes, that is an advantage because he was with the New England Patriots staff last year. He knows some of their ins and outs, and I'm sure the Eagles coaching staff is going to be looking at him throughout this week in preparation to make sure that, looking for him for some tips right there on what New England's going to do. And we can use that to our advantage because, hey, while Matt Patricia isn't our head coach, thankfully, he does know how to know the in and outs of New England. Remember that his first year as their head coach in Detroit, remember the Lions blew out the Patriots on Sunday Night Football, mainly because Matt Patricia knew what he was going against, which was the one highlight of his run in next season. He's run in Detroit, but that's all subject. But the point is, Matt Patricia can certainly be a helping hand in this one, can be a good piece to have in Nick Sirianni's ear in helping put together a game plan. So there is that benefit right there. And plus with New England, they do have some new members on their coaching staff now too. So it might take them a few weeks to get adjusted, get used to everything. So there are some advantages here right there. So I feel like that's another fair advantage to point out right there. Having Matt Patricia in Sirianni's ear is good for this game right here. But yeah, that was the other point I wanted to bring up I didn't get to yet. But now I'm going to switch gears. So what I'm going to do is, we're involved in the Hardcore Sports Network, we're involved with this Pick'ems group, which is where we do weekly picks. It's just a standard traditional. We pick the winners and losers. Monday night game, there's a point spread. You have to pick the total number of points projected right here in case of a tiebreaker. So that's what I'm saying right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the screen with that right there, go by game, give you my quick predictions right there on what I expect for week one. But first off, I'm going to have to step aside for just a second. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be back. All right, and I'm back now, folks, and let's get back into it. Yep, we talked about the Eagles and Patriots. I'm going to leave it at that right there. We'll have to wait and see what happens on the field Sunday. Today's Fly, Eagles, Fly. Let's get this W. Let's spoil Tom Brady's retirement ceremony. And let's get it done. But now I'm going to share the pick'ems. I'm sharing your screen right there. I'm going to run through these pick'ems right there. I'm going to show you the screen run by week by week. I already made my pick, so you're going to see spoilers before I say it. But let's get into it. Kansas City, Detroit. It's a pretty obvious one. And some people are trying to overplay Kansas City's injury. So who was it again on the defense? Right there. What's his name? They're trying to. I mean, remember when what's his face? Who was it that got injured again? It was Chris Jones. So people are overplaying Chris Jones' injury. That's right. Talking about how he making a bigger deal of it, like it's going to put them in trouble early. And I know there are some injuries. Kadarius Toney's questionable, and that could play a factor. However, I feel in this matchup, look, as long as Kansas City has Patrick Mahomes as their quarterback, I'm rolling with them. I'm rolling with them in this one to get the win over the Detroit Lions. And Detroit Lions, like what Dan Campbell's done with that culture over there, he's a fun coach, respectable guy, but I'm just not sure if he's the guy that's really going to get Detroit to that next level. I kind of just see the Lions being middle of the pack. And Kansas City's clearly the better overall team, especially with Mahomes in there. Best quarterback in the NFL currently. Got to give it to them. So I got Kansas City taking care of business there. So we get to Sunday. This is a tough one. I mean, I could still change my pick between Panthers and Falcons. I mean, it's a tough one. I mean, because I'm thinking they're going to start Bryce Young, the Panthers, but even if they do, he could still be a little green. And the Falcons, it's two mediocre teams, two mediocre to below average teams with young quarterbacks. I mean, I'm not sure about Atlanta. I'm going to pull up the Falcons depth chart. I'm going to pull up their depth charts real quickly, see who's playing or who's not. Let me go look at their depth chart right there. So, yep, Desmond Ridder is the starter for the Falcons in this one. And to double check, let's see what the Panthers are doing. And the Panthers are starting Bryce Young, and Miles Sanders is questionable for this one. So is DJ Chark Jr. It's a tough one. I'm just going to go with the Panthers, but that could go either way. And then we go next one. You got the Bengals and Browns. And Bengals should be the better overall team, but the Browns, it's all going to depend on one factor. Does Deshaun Roethlisberger, a.k.a. Deshaun Watson, is he able to return to form to where he was at with Houston? Because if he can return to form, they could be a good team this year. They could. But that's the big if for the Browns right there. Is Deshaun Roethlisberger, what does he do? But I'm still going to have to go with Cincinnati for now because Cleveland I still feel like they have to prove it. And Deshaun Watson has to prove that he can still go on the field. Moving down, Jacksonville, Indianapolis. This should be an easy one for the Jaguars. And you have Trevor Lawrence took a big step up year 2. Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby. That team, you got Kelvin Ridley to be back. We still got some decent weapons over there. Evan Ingram, as long as he catches the ball. I mean, that should be enough to beat Indianapolis. I mean, Anthony Richardson, he still kind of looked green there in the preseason. He's going to have some work to do, but that's part of being a rookie quarterback, though. You're Indianapolis, you got to know you're in a long-term rebuild. Let Anthony Richardson play. Let him learn from his mistakes. But I got the Jaguars in this one. Should be an easy one. Next one looks easy. Minnesota, Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers, I just don't see this team going far. And Baker Mayfield, He had the quickest fall off of any quarterback since he got hurt in 2021. He's not the answer. Minnesota, hey, they have a good, talented team around them. They should at least get the W there. So I'm thinking they'll be 1-0 heading into our week 2 matchup. Saints and Titans. Saints are coming into this matchup healthy, so I got to go with the Saints in that one. Titans are a wreck. And Mike Vrabel, I don't know how much respect he has from his players there after last year. Might have lost a lot of respect from him. But nevertheless, and I don't trust Mike Vrabel as the Titans coach either. I mean, me personally. I don't know about the locker room, but I don't trust them. And the Saints, yeah, they're healthy, so they should at least be able to get the dub there. 49ers, Steelers. 49ers are the better team, but here's an interesting thing, though. Remember, Bosa's out over contract negotiations, and Nick Bosa, regardless of whether you like him, dislike him, you're going to get some people go both ways. Some like him, some dislike him. However, regardless of that, though, on the field, Bosa is a big difference maker for that team, and his absence, I feel like his absence could be a big deal. It could be. But we'll ultimately have to see right there how this goes. But I got the Niners in this one. Steelers, but never know with the Steelers. There could be an upset right here. If there is going to be an upset, it might be the Steelers in this one. But for now, I got the Niners. Now, the next one, Commanders, Cardinals. I said pretty easy. Like I said earlier, I got the Commanders winning this one. Texans, Ravens. Texans are terrible. And besides, they still got a rookie quarterback. They're still in a deep rebuild. Ravens are going into this matchup healthy, so they should at least be able to do enough to get the win there. Bears and Packers. Most people got the Bears, but I'm thinking this could be an upset right here. Even with a new quarterback for the Packers and Jordan Love, there is a chance this could be an upset. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, they get the win. Maybe the Packers do pull something about the Packers. I just think they're going to surprise people this year. Maybe Jordan Love is better than expected. I think Matt LaFleur is their head coach. He's a good head coach and could make something with it. So, I don't know. I got the Packers in the upset. Broncos and Raiders, this is a tough one. I kind of look at it as Sean Payton leading versus Josh McDaniels leading. I'll go with Sean Payton, so give me the Broncos. But it could go either way. But we'll have to see how Sean Payton does in his first go-around with the Denver Broncos and what he can get out of that team. Eagles, Patriots, I already talked about it. I got the Eagles in that one. Dolphins, Chargers. This is a tough one. It's like, because the Dolphins already have a few key injuries, which is going to hurt their potential. And the Chargers, they are the better team on paper, but with Brandon Staley as their coach, I don't trust them in key games. I don't. Especially after that meltdown in the playoffs last year. I don't trust them at all. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins in this one. Seahawks, Rams, I'll take the Seahawks in this one. Cowboys, Giants, I got the Cowboys in this one. I feel like they're the better and more talented team. Dak, even though I don't think he's elite, I just think he's good at best, who melts in big games. He is better than Daniel Jones, and both teams are relatively healthy, but I'm expecting the Cowboys to win this one right here. It'll probably be a good game, though, but I got the Cowboys in this one. They couldn't wait to throw the Cowboys in prime time. And speaking of prime time, the Jets, the new look Aaron Rodgers Jets, they had to get a prime time one against the Buffalo Bills. It's interesting because looks like DeMar Hamlin might be back. Looks like he's going to be back and playing, ironically, on Monday Night Football, because that was where he last played. And that's crazy right there. And that's crazy to know, though, that, hey, DeMar Hamlin, ironically, coming back on Monday night. But you know what? It's great that DeMar Hamlin's coming back. He's still going to make a career. He survived a near-death experience. But as far as the game itself goes, I still got the Bill Buffalo winning this one. I still feel like they're the better all-around team. And Rodgers, yeah, the Jets got Rodgers, but remember last year, Rodgers was starting to show signs of decline last year with the Packers. He was missing some throws. They normally make some. You could be talking about possibly 8-9 win season here for the Jets. And I just think the Bills, they're better set as a team. So I got them in this one. But hey, we'll ultimately have to see. I just put 60 points for the total. I could see, because I see this being an offensive friendly game. But those are my picks right there for this one. So, yep, that's it right there. So before I go, there's one more thing I wanted to talk about. Now, throughout the season, I'm going to touch up on college football a little bit. Not going to touch up on much for week one, except I'm going to touch up a little bit on what happened over the week, mainly with Colorado State, because now that's the hot subject. With Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, right there. I mean, his son, Shador, just had an excellent game right there against TCU. 38 for completions on 47 attempts, 510 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. I mean, the way Shador is playing, if he continues to ball out the way he has, he's going to be in the NFL if he continues that way. Hey, this is a great game for Colorado State right there. Setting the tone right there that, hey, this team could be the team in the Pac-12. It's making them, Deion Sanders alone is making them relevant. And he's helping change how college football is coached right now. He's changing the game right there for recruitment and for coaching. It's become the main focus. I mean, you always have Alabama with Nick Saban. They're always going to have the name recognition. The SEC teams always have that recognition. But with Deion out there out west by that Pac-12, that's going to keep Colorado relevant. And that game right there against TCU, Shador Sanders, excellent performance. Also, Travis Hunter, it's all phenomenal. At wide receiver, 11 receptions, 119 yards. Great right there. Absolutely excellent at wide receiver. I mean, just excellent. And then you have Ray on the defensive side of the ball as well. You got Shador Sanders out there as well. And you got Travis Hunter. He's playing both sides of the ball. And he also got an INT as well. So technically, he had 12 receptions. Technically, you count the pick. I mean, Travis Hunter absolutely balled out for that team. So that's going to be the main focus points right there. Shador Sanders, Deion's son, and Travis Hunter for that team right there. But, oh my gosh, that was... But the Buffalo's absolutely excellent performance right there against TCU on the offensive side of the ball. They deserve credit. And credit to Travis Hunter actually going out there playing on both sides of the ball. And then nice performance right there. I got to give him props on that. And plus, then you got Colorado's playing Saturday against Nebraska. But hey, they're going to be the team that we're going to watch out to see how they do. Because we're serious. How is that team good? How Deion Sanders is going to do with that team right there throughout the season. So we're definitely going to be on the lookout for Colorado just to see how they do right there. So that was the big highlight right there. And last night, Clemson getting beat 28-7 by Duke. Yeah, Duke. Yeah, Duke, that's a university that's known for its basketball program, beating Clemson in football. There was a shocker right there. Other noticeable games, you had Florida State beat LSU 45-24. You got Oregon State beat San Jose State 42-17. Alabama won its tune-up game against Middle Tennessee 56-7. Get University of North Carolina beat South Carolina Gamecocks 31-17. Other noticeable games going on. Also, at Texas A&M took care of New Mexico 52-10. USC destroying Nevada 66-14. I mean, some of these games, tune-up games for the big teams. Georgia against TN Martin 48-7. I mean, obviously, let's face it, most of these games right there for the schools like Notre Dame, Ohio State, they're pretty much tune-up games to get them ready for the season, to get them ready, get their confidence going. get their big market team. It's the way they set up their big market teams to have a good opening game, let the players look good, get their confidence going, help set the tone for the rest of the season, which is understandable from the business side of it. You want your big market teams doing well to generate more revenue on your big games. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying that's part of what they're doing. I can tell by the way the schedule's set up, like giving Notre Dame, Tennessee State, easy game for them, 56-3 Notre Dame. Giving Oregon, Portland State, 81-7. Giving Michigan, East Carolina. I mean, they're giving some of these games, these big pest schools, some of the easier games, help them win, get their confidence up. Giving Texas, Rice. But hey, it sets the tone for those big power schools in the SEC, Pac-10, etc. So hey, it's good for them. It's good for the NTA, AA, good for their revenue. But hey, yep, we'll set to keep an eye out, see what's going on in the college football world there. But that's all I really got for this one right there. Mainly wanted to come on here, preview the Eagles, Patriots, give a little bit of a preview of the NFL games in week one as a whole, and talk a little bit of college football, mainly Coach Prime's debut, because that was the main highlight from the first week of college football. Came on here, talked about everything I was going to talk about. So everyone that tuned in, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed. If you haven't done so already, you can drop a like and subscribe to both the Hardcore Sports Network and my channel. There's the link to the Hardcore Sports Network. If you haven't gotten to it yet, copy and paste it. And there's the link to my channel right there. Copy and paste it. Sub it up if you haven't done so already. I'll be back next week. I always do this sports talk from the Hark every Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Throughout the week, I drop a bunch of short videos on the YouTube Shorts, 1 minute or less, talking about football, basketball, sometimes throwing some other stuff like baseball, or if there's any big news going on in the prize fighting world, which rarely these days, but I'll drop shorts on them. So sub up my channel. And again, everyone, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful night, day or night. Until next time, signing off.